This is the Steel Judoka Hard 4-Island Guide. This run will be travelling with Harold Schmidt as our pilot, with +1 mech move and +1 mech reactor. And this is the ideal setup for most, if not all, pilots. And we'll be running him on the Judo mech. We'll be going with an ice island here. On second thought, I think I might move Harold to the gravity mech and get +1 damage on this Vec Hormones passive here. I'll be using the choosing the ice island because of the leader. The spider boss is one of the hardest in my opinions. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of options here, considering our Judo mech is webbed inside this ice storm. So we're going to have to pull him out. And save the gravity mech from getting hit. And then simply moving the Judo into a better position for next turn. Again, unfortunately, the Judo mech doesn't have many options. What we want to do is pull this leaper back and position this Hornet to attack his friend. Again for the third time. Not much we can do with this Judo mech. That'll be fine because he'll be frozen. In order for us to maximize the amount of XP we get, what I'm going to do is knock the Scarab into his squid friend. Do it again, and then Judo it over. And it doesn't matter that all my cars get frozen because it's the last turn. It's also interesting to note that the ice storm doesn't damage the time pod. This is actually a pretty good effect, especially for this squad. Really complements it well. The Vec hormones. So it's important that we do this order correctly and freeze the right robot. This gravity mech is the only mech that doesn't deal damage when he moves, and he can't get to this cannon bot. So we'll have to freeze this guy and then relocate this artillery bot so that we don't take a crap ton of power grid damage here. Simply pull the forward one. And for this scarab, we'll push him back and make him block for us. Now this is an interesting turn. We need to make sure that this artillery bot doesn't get damaged and also gets frozen this turn if possible. So in order to do that, I'm going to pull him upwards. Actually, I won't do that because that will damage my city here. So I'll undo that. This guy is currently not attacking anything, so he's safe. That's not entirely true, he's still attacking his friend here. I think perhaps our best option is to sack one power grid in order to freeze this robot. This turn is a little bit janky, but if we do it in a specific order, we should be okay. I take that back. Because of our Force Amp passive, these two both take 2 damage and die straight away. Means we can get rid of this guy. Simply freeze the Alpha Hornet and prepare for next turn. To finish off, simply go and Scion with our own guy and end it there. Now, we want to tend to try and avoid kill at least 7 enemies, at least in the beginning. Because the steel boys don't have a lot of versatility early on. It's important that we don't get our artillery type units webbed up by the sleeper, because that can really screw you. Luckily, this turned out to be a pretty easy first setup. we're going to start by getting rid of the sleeper here. That'll break the cannonball outside. We'll block with the scarab. And instead of blocking here with our gravity mech, what we can do is simply pull the bot mech over and have it block for us. Using Harold's special repair ability, we're just going to be pushing this scarab across. And bring our mechs a little bit closer to the action. And end our turn. And we're simply going to end that run by a quick little pushover. Get a bit more XP. These missions are usually pretty easy because these bots, they dispense frozen mines, which very often work in your favor. We'll start off with the siege mech and position this scion so I can then push him further along. And then use the judo mech, position so he'll kill the sign for me. First we'll start by pushing this hornet to block for us. And then siege mech. We'll simply relocate the scarab. And the judo the same with the hornet. Unfortunately, because the siege mech doesn't have the building's immune upgrade yet, it means he's pretty limited in what he can do. I'm going to start off by killing this hornet, which allows our gravity mech to come up and push this alpha scarab out of the way, saving the mine bot. I'm just simply going to kill this. So in order to save this bot, we've got to take a look at the NPC actions and in which order they are in. So we're going to have this alpha scarab kill this hornet for us. To do that, we're going to keep him back. The gravity mech. We then want to kill this guy, so judo him across. And end like so. Now this particular first turn is actually pretty fortunate for us, We will be taking 1 grid damage, but to be able to kill the spider leader in 1 turn is definitely worth it. It'll save us a lot of hassle later. So to begin with, we're going to use our siege mech. And get rid of a lot of our problems right then and there. Secondly, we're going to bump the Scion leader. And lastly, judo him to his death. We always want to be on the lookout on how we can get the Vex to kill each other instead, because they deal 1 damage deals 3 damage, which is crazy good. So I'm going to use my siege mech to push him across. Use the gravity to push this Vex into the mountain, and throw him over like that. So unfortunately we have this leaper that's tied our siege mech down, which is not what we want at all. So we'll have to improvise here. Use our gravity mech to push these to his side. Then we'll use this leaper here to knock it into the hornet. So it kills him too. Unfortunately we'll take 1 damage there, but that's okay. That one's fine, but that isn't. So we'll prioritize this guy. And simply to finish off, we'll put these 2 back here, and throw that one over. And that is the first island complete. Excellent. Confused shot is okay. Archimedes is great. We'll definitely be swapping Archimedes into the judo mech there, and then we'll have a look at this. First of all, we want to sell our pilot and have a look at the weapons. That one's pretty good. But we're still very early on in our run. We don't quite have the cores yet. And it's also only has 1 use per battle with that upgrade. The rest are mediocre. I think we'll simply get 3 actor cores. We'll make the siege mech more versatile by making the buildings immune and giving +1 move. Because 3 it's too small. And for the judo mech, also needs +1 move. And that's it for the first island. I hope this guide has been useful to you guys so far. One key thing to note here is the pilot that I chose. +1 mech move and +1 mech reactor makes this run a whole lot easier to begin with. Also, Harold's special ability, Frenzied Repair, makes the gravity mech a lot more versatile. If you guys liked this video, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.